Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. So we have a few trailers today. I guess you could say normal, regular movies, as well as Netflix ones. One in particular, well, I'll be getting to shortly. But first, I see there's one for Hot Girls Wanted Turned On, which kind of, I guess, is like a sequel to, Hot Girls Wanted, a documentary on the adult entertainment industry, or I guess more people, more amateur wise, getting into it, because of technology and stuff now and whatnot. Um, you know, Not as much from just your big companies and whatever. But anyways, so I read the little synopsis. I guess this is going to be a six-part little docu series continuing on the state of things. So let's see what this is.
I am consenting to have sex today on camera.
Pretty much I'm a psychiatrist. I might be doing it naked, but I'm making a difference.
If it weren't for people that do this job, you wouldn't have your porn.
How's it going?
We can't ignore that porn today is sex education.
Hopefully, kind of true.
I want to show sex, which is much more emotional.
I literally can't stop looking at that screen.
I'm in a room full of 300 people, but I'm on my phone, so technically, I'm alone.
From camming, I get a kind of relationship that I have trouble with in real life.
The same people who are judging you are the same people who consume your product.
True.
We have become so selfish. And I think a large part of that is due to social media. For me, being 40 years old is just completely unacceptable behavior.
I feel I'm a feminist.
Women on the other side of the camera are great.
You deserve some real happiness, not just the computer fantasy.
My dad is never going to be okay with what I do.
Of all the decisions I've made, this is my best one.
April 21st. All right. Well, definitely, I guess you could say a sequel. Hot Girls Wanted, for what it was, I think it was very well done. And it looks like this will be as well. As it says, I guess 6 stories. Each one is an individual story of, again, these aren't, makeup porn stars or whatever. Back in the day, get those videotapes, hide them, those DVDs or whatnot. I mean, it's all about social media now. And of course, amateur, porn and whatnot. And it may sound weird to say, but actually, I mean, it's probably the best kind of porn, if you will. You're amateur because it's more real, if you will. But anyways, definitely looks like it's going to be an interesting study. So I look forward to seeing what this is, or these different stories that are presented. I see, I guess, the case of, there are all these sites that, I mean, like you said, you can cam, I guess, in a lobby or personally with one of these celebrities, and it looks like there's a guy who's very socially awkward and talks about, relationships, or his perception of relationships and just girls in general, getting into that. An older woman, as she said, that she considers herself a feminist and thinks it is very empowered for women, which others will say they think is very degrading. Which, I mean, I can see both sides. I mean, and as I try to see both sides to most arguments, because when it comes to it, what a lot of people might think is women degrading themselves, especially if you're talking about certain aspects of the adult industry where there are, pimps or managers or whatever, where it is taking more advantage or whatever, I can get that kind of, or if it's as a last resort, especially if there's something like stripping, for instance, where it's to, in most cases, pay for a habit or something like that. And a lot of those girls, because I mean I've known a few of them, that they utterly totally hate it, and feel they have to be drunk, doped out, or whatever for it. But again, and there are some that I think, especially in this type of industry, where it is pretty much controlled by themselves on their terms and everything. So in that sense, I can see why many would see it as very empowering. And as the old saying goes, flaunt what your mama gave you, be it male or female. So even though it is a taboo type thing by society, I guess it can be a very empowering thing, but like many things in life, very addicting. So I'm very interested to see what this 6-episode series brings to bear. And like, I hope, if all things, people look at something like this and it opens their minds to things. I mean, they see it more than just their general perception is like, oh, it's smut, it's porn, it's this or that, they must have terrible standards, blah blah blah, but that they see it more as people. Anyways, that is my reaction and my thoughts, and y'all have a good day. Of course, comment, welcome all comments, subscribe, share. Peace.